Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Thursday the 24th of March 2022. In today's Millwall news, you can't make this shit up. So after having the big fanfare of the under 23 games are going to be at the Den, they're going to be on Recast, buy your tickets now. This is from Millwall's Twitter. Millwall under 23's professional development league fixture against Colchester United, originally scheduled for tomorrow, Friday the 25th, has been postponed. Supporters who purchase the live stream will be issued refunds by Recast. Yeah, fantastic. So this is the second time in a row. The last time it was a Recast derby between QPR and Millwall, which is supposed to be held at Wealdstone FC. And Wealdstone FC's ground was it's a shit pit that's fallen apart. And the council shut it down to crowds. So, for whatever reason, that meant they still didn't play it behind closed doors, and that was supposed to be on Recast, and then it wasn't. And now they've done it again. This is supposed to be on Recast. Now it's not even going to be played tomorrow. It's been rescheduled for the 29th of April. Yeah, just a bit of a shit show all round, but it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. I don't know why this has been done. They haven't mentioned it. I mean, Colchester United have a game on Saturday. Maybe they need their under 23 players to play a part in their game on Saturday. I don't know. It's all very weird, and it's all very annoying that they do this right at the last minute. Anyway, moving on to this story from newsden.co.uk. Average points needed to finish 6th in the last decade, but Millwall boss on why he has not set target. Millwall manager Gary Rowett has explained why he's not set a points target that he thinks could be enough for the Lions to finish in the end of season tournament this season. Millwall are 4 points off 6th with 8 games left. The average points needed to finish 6th over the past 10 seasons is 74.3. The lowest points accumulated by a side finishing 6th in that time was 68, and the highest 80. Based on that, the Lions would need to collect 17 points over their last 8 games of the season. That will take a similar effort to their recent 8-match unbeaten run when they picked up 20 points. Millwall finished on 72 points in 2017-18, 3 points off 6, and on 68 points in Rowett's first season in 2019-20, 2 points off the playoffs. Rowett hasn't marked down a target this campaign. No, I haven't. I've not really thought about a points tally. It's not something I've really discussed internally, Rowett said. We know what sort of points total gets you in the top 6 over the last 10 years. It's 70 plus. There have been some 68s, but more or less it's 70 plus on average. And if I'm being honest, I'm in the same mindset. I'm not bothered about not thinking about how many points we need. I'm thinking we've got 8 games to go, and can we really put a really big effort in once again and see where that takes us. I think that's what you have to do if you start putting points tallies on. I've always felt this. When you lose the first game coming back, then straight away there's a psychological negative in the players' minds about it. For me, that's not what you want to do. Millwall have come from almost nowhere in January to muscle back in a playoff picture. They are 5th in the form guide over the last 10 games. Their next opponents after the international break, Luton Town, are 2nd in the form guide. Rowett added, like we were doing before, we're trying to enjoy it, trying to put good performances and big performances in and see where that takes us. Most teams are doing the same. There are a few teams up near the top 4 in. There are a few teams mid-table picking up some form. The season is 46 games, and you just got to keep ticking games off and see where it takes you. Indeed, game by game. Game by game. What's the next game? Luton. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about anything else. Worry about that Luton game. It's going to be a full house. And we can beat them. So moving on to this now from millfc.co.uk. They're putting in a bit of support for non-league day 2022, which is on Saturday because it's the international break. So a lot of Premiership and Championship supporters probably not going to have a game to go to. So it's been suggested. This has been going on for a couple of years now. Why don't we have a day when everyone goes to non-league? And to be honest with you, I like a non-league game. Pretty decent day out. A lot of places you can drink in front of the game because the rules are different in terms of professional leagues to non-professional leagues. Yeah, it's just I like changing ends at half time basically. When you watch the game at one end, when you want to watch your team attack it or whatever you're like the team you're watching, watch them attack the goal in the first half, and then you at half time you scroll around to the other end and you do the same thing again. You watch the team that you're there to support attack the goal, and hopefully you get to see a decent goal or two. So non-league day is back this weekend, Saturday 26th of March, with clubs around the nation looking to gather the support of their local communities. Our list below covers just some of the clubs local to the Den and surrounding areas playing home or away matches this weekend, all on a Saturday with a kick-off time of 3 p.m. I mean, you've got Chatham Town versus Fisher. Chatham Town are very good. Bradshaw's brother plays for them, I believe. And with the weather this weekend's going to be pretty good. So if there's like a football ground on the coast, on Canvey Islands on the coast, or on a river or something nearby, lovely bit of sun, get a nice tan. You got Wilson versus Bromley, being played at Wilstone's Death Trap of a ground. Forest Hill Park versus Rochester United. I've never heard of them, to be honest with you. They're playing Catford, SE6. AFC Croydon versus Fleet Town. Okay. Lancing versus BCD, which I believe is Vickers, Crayford and Dartford. Dartford. And they're away at Lance. That would be a nice day at Lancing. I think that's near Lingfield, I believe. Phoenix Sports versus Hythe Town, and that's in Bexley Heath. So there you go. There's a few clubs for you to look out for, and here's a few more. This is from kentishfootball.co.uk, a one-man band website covering Kentish football. And there's a couple of games in League One this Saturday, of course. There's a two in the National League. I'm sure you're not going to travel all the way to Wrexham to watch Dover. Concord Rangers. Now that would be a good day out. That's in Canvey Island. That is right on the river, on the estuary, I believe. Versus Dulwich Hamlet. Maybe not. Ipswich United versus Dorking. Hampton and Richmond Borough versus Dartford. That's a decent ground. Hampton and Richmond. Hemel Hempstead versus Tunbridge. Maidstone United versus St Albans City. Cray Wanderers versus Kingstonian. Well, that's Cray Wanderers and that's being played at Bromley FC. That's where Joe Wright is, a Millwall keeper, young lad. Maybe check that out. Go to was it Norman Park, Norman Road? to watch Bromley FC. To Bromley FC to watch Cray Wanderers. That's in the Isthmian League Premier Division. Bognor Regis Town versus Margate. And there's a few more there. Isthmian League South East Division. Herne Bay. That's on the coast, isn't it? Ramsgate. Whitehawk. Faversham Town. So there's a fair few there. Here's some more local ones in London-ish area. Erith and Belvedere. Erith Town. Glebe. Welling Town. So there you have it. Non-league day. There's a few teams that you could go and watch if you want to, and if you don't, don't. I'm not really that bothered. So this is from millwallfc.co.uk as well. It's their loan roundup. So they've got to it. Obviously, there's no rush. Joe Wright was involved in a 7-goal thriller as Cray Wanderers were defeated 4-3 at home by Bowers and Pitsea last weekend. The goalkeeper will be in further action this weekend, Saturday 26th March. Hey, I just told you about that. As Cray Wanderers welcome Kingstonian to their home patch, which is Bromley FC in Isthmian Premier Division meeting. The only other loan used to make an appearance was Arthur Penny for Welling United, Isaac Loffey Sutton United, and the duo Alex Mitchell and Dan Moss Leighton Orient were missing. Meanwhile, furthermore, Junior Tanzania shared this story earlier in the week. Has had his loan to Dartford cut short due to injury. Yes. Sad. And here are the upcoming games for the loans, the players who are still loaned out. The list is a lot shorter than it was. And you got to wonder, well, like I said, the Leighton Orient ones, Alex Mitchell and Dan Moss are not playing. Don't know if they've been squeezed out because of the new manager, the relegation battle they're in, or what's happening there. Whether they're injured, don't know. I have no idea. Arthur Penny, Tunbridge versus Welling United. They're not playing until Saturday the 2nd of April. What is going on there? A lot of Welling United's games being postponed. I have no idea why. Is it COVID? Is that still going on? Don't know, but he's not playing until 2nd of April. So they've got a week off. Weird. And Port Vale versus Sutton United. Will Isaac Loffey be fit for that? I believe he is injured again. Believe he is, but so there you go. There's Millwall FC with the loan roundup, and we're going to end today's show by talking about this. So Wall Talks tribute to Paul Jiggins. Wall Talk is Mill's podcast that they're trying to do. They were doing it. Paul Jiggins hosted it. A few of them, and he passed away last week, and the rest of the lads involved in putting a show together, Max McClellan, Mark Litchfield and Billy Taylor, basically did a special show where they talk about Paul with clips from some of the podcasts with Paul talking, and this is pretty interesting. Listen, it's a podcast. You can watch it on I think you can watch it on Recast. I'm not too sure, but it says listen on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And it says Wall Talk will now take a break until next season. Rest in peace, Jiggo. So there you go. A lot of people obviously very, very upset about Paul passing away. And it's kind of thrown a spanner in the works because he was doing a great job hosting this this show. He did one recently with former manager whose name I've forgotten. Well, what is his name? I remember one of those moments. With yeah, he did the most recent one with Mick McCarthy. That's it. Yeah, Mick McCarthy. And less than a week later, he's no longer with us, which is very sad. And you wonder how the show carries on. Obviously, they've decided to call it a day until next season. Yeah, and who's going to fill Paul Jiggins' boots? It's going to be a hard act to follow. He's very good at what he did. Very capable of talking and being affable and effervescent. And it's going to be hard to follow, but I suppose we all have to move on one way or another. So on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.